Hey, hey, hey. Good afternoon, everybody over in New Zealand. I've got amazing Sage with me here now and Polly. Hope you guys are having an awesome second week. This is week 2 of your health and wellness program. And today we get to speak to you guys about the importance of hydration. And this is so, so important. And it's why we put it into week 2, because it's not a small topic. It is actually huge, no matter what goals that you have gone into this program with, especially when it comes to weight loss. Today, we're going to take you through a slideshow. So we're going to go through what we're going to be covering first and foremost. Sage is going to take you through some awesome stuff when it comes to PH360 and your dashboard. So we're going to go a little bit further. If you didn't watch webinar 1, please check it out. It takes you through everything that's important that we didn't have time to cover in our initial session. So please go over, scroll down, check out webinar 1, because it gives you some great insights that you probably didn't know Shay app actually has in it. All right, let's show you what we are covering today. I will screen share my desktop. Here we go. There's everybody live on Facebook. I'll put that down there. All right, so today we are looking at why water is important for you. And this is your hydration activation. If you guys haven't seen what your main goals are this week, number 1, continue to share your recipes. So we want you to get your recipes up. Sage has been loving it. I've been loving it. Our entire team, Sharna, who you guys are going to meet shortly, has been loving it. Kate as well. Cam, our nutritionist dietitian, was like, I have not seen a group that shares this many photos in a Facebook feed. So you guys are absolutely smashing it. So please keep that up. Phil, number 1, you are in the lead. You are smashing it. You saw those prizes coming out, so you will be rewarded on this 30-day challenge. The number 2 goal this week is a cheeky one, and that's only due to Sage and I discussing after your initial consult, how can we get you guys to break those patterns and actually start drinking more water without us having to remind you. So every time in the office right now, if you hear somebody say drink, or if you hear somebody say water, or anything to do with, even if they're like, hey, let's go get a beer, that includes you have to take a sip of water. So throughout the hydration seminar today, anytime that I talk about water, I have to drink it, which means I'm going to be drinking a lot of water. It's going to be fantastic. So probably not throughout, but I will try to keep up. When Sage is talking, I will definitely be in this competition with you guys. So it's a fantastic way to stay hydrated. And it's really just making a new program in your mind so that it's reminding you to drink water. All of you guys already carry around 2-liter bottles of water. Let's look at what we're talking about today, because it gets into that. So we're looking at number 1, why hydration is important. It's important to you. It's important to everybody in your family. And we're going to cover off those key topics so you know why we're actually speaking on hydration in week 2. Week 1 was nutrition. Week 2, hydration. Number 2, your personalized PH360 Shay tips on hydration. Sage is going to show you why it's important to you personally. So why it may be important to an activator like myself, a diplomat, the list goes on. Crusaders, you guys as well. Then we're going to look at 5 tips to stay hydrated. And at the end, we'd love you guys to throw out some Q&As. Let's see who we've got online right now. If I do that, everyone's going to see who I'm looking at. So I will flip back while Sage is going through the actual PH360 tips and tricks so that I can see who's online over here on my phone. But we'd love for you guys to throw out questions. This is an interactive webinar. We love sitting and talking to a screen for an hour. Isn't that your favorite thing?
My favorite, yeah.
But we would way rather you guys interact with us. That is the key point of all of these activations, is for you guys to ask us questions moving forward. So please feel free to drop questions in the box. If you're watching this on a replay, drop the replay in the comments. Let us know where you're tuning in from, which site you're at. we want you guys to be commenting as we go through this all the way through. Awesome. Number one, why hydration is important. So as you already know, because a lot of us, we covered this in our actual presentation or first coaching session with you guys, water makes up 60 to 75% of your body weight, serving as an important part of your nutrition and well-being. The whole point of this program, this is one of the biggest components. And if that's not enough, water affects a variety of bodily functions: alertness, appetite, performance, fatigue, body temperature, your joints. So a lot of us were discussing how we get stiff joints and things like that. Nutrients, waste, skin. It's super important with skin. I mean, personally, I used to get psoriasis and I started drinking a really good type of water and it actually went away. So skin is also a big one with regards to water and hydration. Prevention of disease, and the list could and does go on. So if you have any questions around any of those, and if something came up for you while we were reading those, maybe it was fatigue, maybe it was how does that regulate my body temperature, please feel free to drop that in the comments below and we'll go into more detail with you guys. We would love that. Next, water is involved in nearly every part of your body. It helps blood flow, encourages chemical reactions in your cells, cushions muscles, and regulates body temperature. So literally everything that your body is doing, water is assisting with. When dehydrated, these functions become impaired, which can affect the flow of oxygen, performance ability, and fatigue, which are not only detrimental to your workout, but can eventually affect your health. Right now, we are really concentrating on your health right now. I know a lot of you guys are eager, and I've heard some feedback from Sage when it comes to the coaching calls to get into the fitness side. And we want you to start training. We're not holding you back. You guys have a list of exercises specific to you, and water is going to be detrimental to that. Coming up when we get into tips, we're going to go into how much water you need when you are training. So how much you need to replace based on how much training you are doing. So really important when you're exercising, we need you to start replacing the amount of hours you spent exercising with water. However, if you are at the baseline level, if you are just starting on your health and wellness journey right now, we want you to remember that water can be one of the main factors when it comes to weight loss, when it comes to your energy levels. Increasing and replacing this for soda pop and Coca-Cola and all the sugary drinks can make a huge difference. So we're just going to go through easy tips and tricks, and then we're going to get into a bit more advanced when Sage takes you through your specifics when it comes to your personalized health. The average person should be consuming around 2.5 liters for men and 2 liters for women per day. Now that comes from the American Food Association. Now with that said, I mean, I like that stat, but I would even say for men and women, we should both be consuming 2.5 liters a day. It shouldn't be based on sex, but it's more about the body size. That's why the gender is there. So any questions about those, let us know. Is there anything that you want to add, Sage, when it comes to why water is important?
Not at this point.
Awesome. All right. So we've got our 5 hot tips to staying hydrated. Number 1, take it with you. Fill up reusable water bottles. Like, these are so important. Have one at your desk. I think a lot of us already are doing this at Vulcan. You guys are carrying around nice 1 liter, 2 liter water bottles at your desk. Compared to bottled water, a reusable bottle is easy to buy, puts less strain on your wallet, and is better for your the environment. So it's so good, and Sage has got one on her right now, to have a reusable water bottle at all times on you, because it's just going to remind you to stay hydrated. Use a reusable water bottle. Number 2, and I kind of mentioned this one before, and a lot of us in our coaching sessions, we discussed this afterwards. Pop was a major thing, so that's why we've put it in as number 2. Swap for pop. So this is cola, this is your diet Cokes. A lot of people were doing diet drinks, diet Cokes. Sugary drinks contain extra calories. Opt for water the next time you reach into the fridge or visit your favorite diner. If you're watching your waistline, consider this. Water may help with weight management, according to the Mayo Clinic. So that's a very famous clinic in Australia. It does help with your weight management. If we can change those sugary drinks, which we've already, a lot of the people that I had in my coaching session, this was one of our top 2 goals of the first 30 days is to cut down on sugary drinks. So if we can swap out these sugary drinks for water, this is going to be huge. And we're not making it unrealistic. We understand that you still might want some sugary drinks here and there. But if we can start replacing 1 or 2 a week, even just to start, that would be awesome. Swap out pop. Let's get some water going. So if you're finding it hard to drink water, and this was big for me, I actually didn't love drinking water. Playing basketball, I was constantly dehydrated. We were training for 2 hours a day. And with 2 hours a day, you're meant to replace every hour of exercise with 1 liter of water. On top of that, I had moved to WA where I met Sage. So this Canadian skin was not very good in the sun. Sage is looking beautiful over here in Bali. I don't know if you can see her tan right now. I am a bit sunburnt, so I am not doing very well in Bali. And I was dehydrated in more than one way. So one, I was training a lot more than I was used to because I had come over to play professional basketball. And 2, I was in the sun a lot in very hot temperatures that my body was not used to those environments. So for me to drink a lot more water, adding a flavor to the water was like the number one thing for me. So if you do have trouble drinking water because it's just boring, it's, what, I have to just drink all this extra water, just add flavor. So we get it. Water alone can taste a bit blah. That's why I've put blah, because that's how I feel about it.
That's a good description, yeah.
Switch it up by adding a wedge of lemon or lime. So I'm big on adding lemon, fresh lemon to my water. The next time you pour that tall drink of water, it can literally assist you in drinking more. Now, with that said, if we went into a deeper conversation about water, it does change the alkalization of the water when you add lemon. We're not going to go that deep today, but if you want more info, that's another one that Sage and I both would love to discuss with you about, which is the quality of the water that you're drinking. And the alkalization of the water is so, so important. So I actually have a water filtration machine at home that alkalizes my water to what's known as 9.0 pH. Sage as well has an amazing filtration system at home. So it is important to have alkalized water, but it's also important to just drink water. So if I'm not drinking it, I have to add lemon. I need to add something. I need to add some flavor to it. And the quality of the water as well is very important. Drop a, I want more information about this. This seems really interesting to me in the comments, and either of us will reach out to you guys. So we'd love to talk to you about how we're super passionate about the filters at home. Number 4, drink when you move. And I've mentioned this one already. For every hour of exercise, add 1 liter of water. And just saying that out loud sounds pretty easy. I can tell you, and Sage is very similar. She'll do a training session about 2 hours a day right now, right?
Yeah, sometimes more.
Or sometimes even more, which she probably went into that in your coaching session. And like, she can't even find clothes in Bali that fit her. We found out we were looking for clothes and there's no 0 here. There's only size 6. So for her to drink 3 liters of water a day is not easy. Like, she's petite. We get it. Like, it is not easy to add in a liter of water for every hour of exercise. And look, Carl, I'm talking to you because we discussed this in your session. I know that, it's hard to add an extra liter of water every hour that you're doing boxing or something like that, but it's so, so important to add in that extra liter. So tip number 4, when you move, you need to add an extra liter of water. Tip number 5 is eat up. That sounds interesting when we're talking about hydration. Water comes from other places than just the faucet. In fact, water is found in many of our foods, which I know a lot of our diplomats out there, we were discussing vegetables in your session, And most likely a lot of that came up on your follow-up calls,
A little bit.
a little bit about vegetables. So I know that the Diplos that I spoke to, veggies was a big, like, whoa, I need to be eating more vegetables. This is huge. So ensure you're eating enough fruits and vegetables, and enjoy water-rich foods like broth-based soups, oatmeal. Actually, I'm about to have oatmeal after this call, and beans. All of these things contain a lot of water. So if you're able to eat more like Diplos, eat more vegetables, you're actually going to be consuming more water naturally. So again, if you struggle with drinking water, these are your 5 basic tips on how to get more water and stay hydrated. Any questions about them? Let us know. 5 tips. All right, I'm going to move on to the next slide unless Sage wants to drop any wisdom bombs on any of our 5 tips and tricks.
Some of these tips and tricks I'll expand on when I take you through the platform, because some will be more specific to some health types than others. So there might be a little bit of double up, but I'll explain the specifics behind some of these tips specific for each individual.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
So, and that's actually the next thing that we're going into, which is great. Let's see. Yeah, awesome. So the next thing we're going to show you guys. Okay. There you are. Hey, you're just going to get a full screen of us now. Oh, and we're just going to give you a little bit of everywhere, every week, you guys get another look of a different country that we're in, depending on where we're at. And we've got an amazing, we're actually at Sage's sister's house right now, who runs an awesome surf school over here in Bali. It's absolutely beautiful. Feel so blessed to be over here right now.
Over here, look up Quicksilver Surf Academy.
Yeah, for sure. You guys are family now. So, all right, let's get into our next screen share. Here we go. And maybe we'll start at how to find this.
Sure.
On your dashboard. All right, so we are sharing. There we go. Hope you guys can see that okay. Any questions that you have so far, drop them in the comments. And here is my dashboard.
Great.
Awesome.
So this will be on your phone as well, on the Shay app in your phone.
I can take that. Yeah, I can show that.
Yeah, so when it comes up on your phone and you come up with the chronology wheel, if you go down a little bit, it will say show more detail, and that will give you information. Meg's being an activator. Oh, hang on, it comes up here. Great. It doesn't direct her really towards hydrating, but it will direct her away from dehydration. So if we say view detailed schedule, this is actually not the greatest example because it doesn't, not directing her towards drinking. So where's the other?
Yep, it's just right there.
Yeah.
But that's just how you find it.
That's how you find it. Yeah, sorry.
So in order to find what we're discussing today, you just go to overview in your food. Just because this part can be a bit tricky. Most of us, we didn't go through this in our actual coaching session.
Yep, so overview, view detailed schedule, and here it will show you, for some, it'll direct you towards drinking. So I'll give you a few examples now. For this particular person, Brad, hi, if you're watching. Brad is a Diplo from memory.
Do you want me to move that?
Yeah. Yep, Diplo.
There he is.
Hi. So diplomats and guardians, it'll direct you towards drinking, which will include hydration, but for a lot of diplomats, it'll also direct you to drink to assist in flushing your liver, or if you're a crusader, it direct you towards drinking to improve your flexibility because it will flush out the toxins. So there'll be various reasons why it directs you towards drinking. For someone like Megs and I who are activators, it won't direct us directly towards drinking, but it will stop us from dehydrating ourselves. I personally drink a lot of herbal tea because thermoregulation is really important for us activators, the senses of which there are not many at all in Vulcan, maybe none. And the Crusaders, it'll tell us to drink warm beverages to assist in our thermoregulation. For the Crusaders, for the Diplomats and the Guardian, herbal tea is great also because it gives you a little bit of break from the boring water that we were talking about earlier. Also, herbal teas are another great one because if you have a little look in your list of foods, if you want to have a little break from hydration and you put in tea, this dashboard will be different.
Do you want to show them on mine?
Sure.
Which is the same?
Food list. And we look up tea. It will be different for Megs than most of you.
Unless you're an activator, which there are a couple activators out there.
It'll say chai tea. It'll say it's good for her. If we want to know why, I do too. It'll say why. So it helps to balance your blood sugar levels. This is really important for the guardians out there. So chai tea may be actually excellent for a guardian. I know jasmine tea is excellent for a guardian because it assists in boosting the metabolism. So if you're getting a little bit bored of water and want to use the herbal teas, look at why. Choose one that is excellent for you because it will actually have health benefits as well as hydration. So you may as well get more bang for your buck. So for Megs with the chai, its tannin will help to boost the immune system. So this, she may be directed towards chai in the time of year that her immune system has a deficit. So this.
Oh, I would love to mention this right now.
Yeah, so it may actually change depending on the time of year. So keep an eye on Shay because the algorithm will adjust depending on what time of year it is, and it will know when your metabolism or when your immune system needs a bit of a boost. So we might find in the months where Meg's immune system is a little bit taxed that chai may come up to an excellent food. So that's good to keep in mind as well, is firstly the actually being hydrated, but then you can actually assist in other functions of your body through the hydration.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah,
Can I touch on that one?
Sure.
So this week, actually, I got really sick. I've been sick for the last 3 days, and I went into my Shay app, and I have been looking at all of these things that will assist me in getting better. And chai tea was one of them. Teas were really big. I'm feeling so much better. Thankfully, it was about like a 48-hour flu, but it was bad. I had a fever. I mean, it was similar, like people call it Bali belly over here, I guess. But I was really bedridden, and Shay app assisted me tenfold with regards to, as you can see in here, helping boost my immune system. Any tips around there that were specific to me, I was able to use these actually and implement them for the first time. I haven't been sick, knock on wood, for like a year, as bad as this last 2 days, and this really assisted me. So if you do get sick, or if you are feeling like your immune system's dropping a little bit, it's fantastic to go in and look at what would boost your immune system and what Sage is taking you through right now. We've got a few questions before you go on, if that's okay. So from Carl, how's the tan coming along?
We're getting there. We're only on day 3, so we're getting there. Ask me in a week.
I don't tan, so Carl, that's not a good question for me. I'm doing okay. Thank you guys. All right, I think, and everyone's still in the live, so I appreciate you guys hanging in until we answer your questions. And we will answer all of your questions. We'll try to get to them throughout. If we're in flow and we're going through something like we were, that's why we'll get to them now. But keep them coming. We love that you guys are asking questions. Is drinking too much water bad for my kidneys? That's coming from Carl. Great question.
It can be. It's not actually bad for your kidney. It's more your nerve function. So if you dehydrate yourself too much, it's very, very rare. It'll flush out the It will flush out the elements that assist your nerves in functioning.
You mean if you hydrate yourself too much?
So
you said dehydrate yourself too much.
Well, if you hydrate yourself too much, it'll take away the sodium and potassium that assist in your nerve function.
Right.
It's
cool.
very rare that will happen, but not really. There's no such thing as hydrating yourself too much unless it is in excess. It won't damage your kidneys. It's more dehydration that will damage your kidneys and put it under strain because they have to work so much harder to reduce the toxins, and it may affect your liver as well.
Carl, this is a great question, and I know that during my time lecturing, this often came up in this hydration session. So just to let you guys know, we often do actually 6 hours when we're coaching personal trainers on hydration. That's how important this topic really is. And is hydration, can I hydrate myself too much? These guys are training all day. They're drinking tons of water, going hard. And Sage answered that perfectly. You can hydrate yourself excessively too much that it can start damaging your nerves. This is very, very rare. This is like 0.000001 percentile. I believe people ask this because they're like, I think I'm hydrating myself too much. I don't want to hydrate anymore. Yeah. I have not come across in all of my, we've combined, and this is showing our age, like 4 decades of experience being personal trainers, exercise sports scientists. I have not come across a single person that hydrates themselves too much. Do we come across people that are dehydrated? 90% of our clients are dehydrated.
I will touch on it a little bit though, if I may, as far as salt goes. So if you're sweating a lot and losing salt, it may assist you to add salt to the water. I won't go into the science too much.
No, that's a great point.
But that's where the whole preface behind the drinks, the Gatorades, come from. But you have to be about 70 kilos, have done at least 10-kilometer run, say for example, for you to actually have any benefits from consuming the Gatorade. So I direct you away from it, but if you are sweating a lot through your workout, and you may not be hydrating yourself as effectively if you don't have the salt. So salt is not always bad. If I've been sweating a lot and I'm really, really dehydrated, I'll get some pink Himalayan salt and just add that to my water because they've got the minerals in it that assist in rehydrating you if you've been sweating a lot and really want to optimize your hydration. It is getting into the science a little bit more. So if you've got any questions, I can clarify.
Yeah, awesome. Drop them below. Great tip. Thank you. Our next question, Dom. Beers are bad for your kidney, Carl Davenport. Okay, well, yeah, that's not actually a question, but it's a great comment.
Great statement.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, the one that we often get is that there is water in beer. This is not a lie, but unfortunately, beer is dehydrating you more than hydrating you. I mean, we can't encourage you to drink more beer at this point, but everything in moderation. All right, like so yes, very much so. All right, we got Carl, we got Junior watching, Phil's watching. Hey, Mana, hello. You guys, if you drop a wave, a what's up, we'd love that. Give us some love over here. So I'm an activator as well. I know you are, Dom.
Oh, we've got one. Hi.
Is green tea good as well for you?
Green tea activators may be directed away from green tea. We're directed away from a lot of beverages that would dehydrate us. So green tea has got a lot of caffeine in it, so we may be directed away from it, or it won't be excellent. It might be listed as neutral. I'll have a look.
But so green tea for me is actually good. I thought it was there.
Oh, great.
But remember that each individual will actually have different things that are good for them, Dom. So I see your love. Thank you, guys. So with me, for example, again, it contains powerful antioxidants and it helps keep the body healthy and strong at a cellular level. All of improved mood, alertness, cognitive function. That one could be because I answered the question that I have some sleepless nights and that as well as sometimes I can get distracted. So with regards to alertness and cognitive function, that could be why it's specifically for me suggesting green tea, Dom. So I encourage you to do what Sage just showed you. And if you didn't see it, go back in the replay. This is always going to be here, you guys. And we do send you the replay link as well. She took you through how to actually get to search tea and everything will come up specific for you. So great question. Keep throwing these out there. That's what's amazing about this program, is that why green tea is good for me is very different why green tea is good for you.
Yeah, green tea, I'm directed away from it. And that's because I'm on the Crusader cusp of activator, and it will affect my mind. So Crusaders a lot of the time are directed away from anything that has caffeine in it because it affects the function of the mind. It depends. Have a look through, Dom, have a look through your food list and see if it's recommended specifically for or against you.
Well, this isn't very nice. Boron is an important element for aging women. Excuse me, Shay. Because of the way it works at the cellular level to help balance hormones, strengthen bones, and boost the immune system. I mean, all of those things are nice, but they have to say I'm an aging woman?
How does it even?
Fine.
Aren't we all there?
Yeah, I guess. Oh, yes, I'll have a check. Awesome, Dom. I drink it heaps. Would there be such a limit per day with that thermohydration, or what it was called?
Sorry, was that with green tea?
Yeah.
It's more the heat of the tea that assists in thermoregulation. So because activators don't have a lot of body fat, instead of your body putting energy into warming itself up through cold beverages, when it does that, it directs away from growth and repair and optimal cell function. So if you're cooling your body down and then your body's putting energy into heating it up, then that's more the reason why we'll be directed towards warm beverages. That is counteracted with stuff like green tea because it will have a diuretic effect because of the amount of caffeine in it, and then it would dehydrate you. So these are the sorts of things that you need to go into the food list for to see if it's going to be an adherence more than a benefit. And green tea may be one of those things purely just because of the caffeine effect of it.
Yeah, awesome. And then as you can see for me, I've actually got quite a few things that are good in my food list when it comes to all of the different drinks. Kombucha is there, which I'm not surprised. And naturally, and this is what we keep going over with you guys, follow your intuition and what you guys like to drink, what you guys like to eat. Over the last 2 years, I've started drinking kombucha. I didn't even know that was on my Shay app until probably about 3 months ago. And that was just something I was naturally drinking because it felt good when I was having it. So again, like, things that are feeling good for you are most likely already in the Shay app. This is all about you feeling into your body, you feeling into what's great for you. And a lot of us, when we went through like the sugary snacks or the sausages and bacon, we were like, yeah, I love it, but I kind of know that's not the best for me. So
I think it was best for anyone.
just a reminder, feel into your intuition. Remember that you actually know your body better than anybody else. And this Shay app is the guidance that you get to reconfirm. Oh yeah, I should have kombucha. This is fantastic for me personally because it's been shown that it has properties to prevent cardiovascular disease, promote digestive functions, stimulate my immune system, reduce inflammatory problems, all of these amazing reasons why it's recommended for me. And if you're someone that is like myself, even though like activators don't always like the detail, it's probably more like a crusader, I love reading why it's important and understanding why it's important to me. So we really want you guys going into this why me section. And I'll take you back to the food list. Let's go back to there, and Sage will finish you off on your PH360 dashboard.
Yeah, great. There's not much more for me to really input on this one. Except I might just quickly run you through exactly where you find it again, as far as, and this one's not, again, the greatest one because it doesn't direct us towards. So when it goes into your overview, especially for the diplomats and the guardians, it'll have little places in here on why you're not only hydrating, but why you're drinking other beverages also. So if it takes you through and it's green and it says drink, go into the detailed schedule, and then where it says drink, it'll then explain why. So as mentioned before, it may be to detoxify, it may be to hydrate, and it will direct you towards specifics on why you're drinking certain beverages at certain times.
Awesome. There was one,
Yeah.
I think, that came up for me that said drink. If you go back to my wheel for a sec. Overview.
Oh, sorry, that's
This right here. So, sorry. So this is where you can go through, like Sage was showing you. Thought one said drink. No, it doesn't. But a lot of the other phenotypes, you will actually have a drink in here quite often.
Yeah.
So you can go through here and click on that, and it'll actually tell you why you're needing that water at that time.
For a lot of guardians, it'll be so you
Maybe
get a
we'll show them.
metabolic rest. It will say give your body a metabolic rest, which means give it a rest of, so go into food. So for example, this one, it'll say drink. Why are we drinking at all these different times through the day? So a lot of the diplomats and guardians, it'll have 3 or 4 times where you're drinking. So this one, just to have a warm drink, take it easy, chill as you wake up. So it's saying have a nice, warm, relaxing beverage while you wake yourself up so you can not have a stressful start to the morning. This one here is actually out saying you can have a coffee here. And this is directing you towards hydration. So fresh juices, especially vegetable juices, are not bad here to hydrate for this particular person. Here, again, it's directing towards hydration. For some people, it will say citrus. For others, it won't. It'll depend on how alkaline or acidic your blood is. So here, it'll give you all different reasons why you're hydrating. So have a look. If it's directing you towards tea, go, okay, tea, great. Which is great tea for me?
So anytime anybody mentions tea, you have to be drinking in the office.
So we'll go tea. Saying I can have a warm beverage in the form of tea. What sort of tea is great for me? Well, they're okay. They're not bad. Why is this good? It's good because it will help to balance blood sugar. So this will be, as we mentioned, different for everyone. They'll have different types of tea that are good for different reasons. So that's the basics on your actual SHAE panel that you'll access. Cool.
Yeah, fantastic. So we'll just take you back over here. So remember, super easy to find. Just go into overview. And remember that all of these things as well, you can search in your food list, and that will give you, all the different drinks that are good for you. We really want you to go back to those tips and tricks. Let's check out, all right, we've got a few people online. Hey, you guys, drop a thumbs up. Let us know that you're tuning in. Any other questions that you guys have? So before we do a summary and a wrap up, and we've got a really special ending today.
Not a happy ending, a special ending.
Well, Sage will be really happy. I don't know how happy I'm going to be at the end of it, but it is a special ending. So stay tuned. We want you guys to ask us any questions that you may have throughout this session today. Drop them in the comments. We love how much you guys have been participating. It was better than the first activation, which was no questions. So having 5 questions today was awesome. We just 10x, 5x our questions. Let's get 10 questions next week. And next week is going to be absolutely amazing. We've got our foodie specialist coming in and talking everything to do with our mindset around our nutrition. And she is unbelievable. You're going to love her. Her name's Sharna. She's one of our lead coaches, and she's going to take it to the next level. So make sure you tune in next week. Again, we're trying out different times for these activations. So let Sage or myself know when you're on the coaching calls, hey, I want these activations to be at this time. This works well for me. We want your feedback. That's why we're trying this on different days. Let us know what works well for you guys. All right. Woohoo, 10x. Awesome. Thanks, Dom. Thank you, guys. Any questions that you guys might have, drop them in. Let's do a bit of Q&A. I'd like to ask you guys a question. Is this a good time for you? Like, you guys are tuning in. I love it. Is this a good time? 2 p.m. This is the second time we've done a 2 p.m. Zoom call activation. We did Thursday last week. This is a Wednesday. Do you want them earlier in the week? Do you want them near the end of the week? And because you guys are the amazing group that we get to kick this off with, you guys get to determine what works best for Vulcan. So we love your feedback. Also, let us know what you want more of in these Zoom calls. We want to hear what you guys love. And we want to hear, maybe don't go into this much detail about this. We crave feedback. If you know activators, we're like, give us all the feedback.
We won't get offended.
No, not at all. We want this to be catered towards what you guys love. This is for you. So please give us as much feedback as you can. We love that. And number one question, is this a good time? So we've got a few people joining us. Is this a great time over there right now? You guys are at work. You might be on the road. Those drivers that pulled over, we love you guys. Thank you for pulling over. You might be watching this on the replay, which is also fantastic. Love that you guys are tuning in for the replays. I saw a lot of people watching the first activation on the replay. Wicked. That's awesome. We're going to send you this replay when we get off. So you will have this replay before the end of the day, and that is there permanently. It doesn't go away. Show it to your friends. Show it to your family. This is not a private group. This is for everybody. We want you guys to get everybody involved. If you're a connector, you need that. You need everybody to get involved. If you're a Diplo, you need that as well. So we understand it's important to share this. Please do. That's the most important thing. All right. Those that are tuning in, we're giving you 5 seconds to ask us your number one question. We've got Sage here, and she is ready to answer any questions you have on hydration, on anything that you guys covered in your coaching calls maybe. She's been killing it, made it through so many coaching calls over the last, no, we're not even into the second, we're in the second week, we're a week and a half in. Any questions that you guys have, let us know, drop us a line. All right, let's do a summary, wrap it up. So what we've covered today, why hydration is important to you. If you need to go back, we've got everything on here. Hydration is so, so important. And remember that this week, we are challenging you guys. So we are saying we want you to try to drink water anytime somebody mentions water, it mentions drink in the office. It's right there. It's reprogramming, and it's really assisting you in just triggering that you need to have a sip of water.
Water or another beverage that is excellent for you.
Yep. And we went through some of those. That's the next thing. So your personalized pH 360 shade tips. So just to recap on some of the shade tips. Excellent.
Hydration obviously is important through water, but then also drinking beverages that are excellent for you is a great thing to keep in mind as well if you're getting a little bit sick of water as well. So it's a good thing to keep in mind that juices will hydrate you, foods will hydrate you, teas will hydrate you, and some of them will even give added benefits as well as hydration. So we may as well get more bang for our buck. There are also times that are better for you to hydrate or give your body a metabolic rest. So that's an important thing to look into when you're going through the chronobiology of your food list, is keep in mind when it's a good time for you to hydrate, whether it's to help to just wake yourself up, whether it's to provide some flexibility through the joints and flush out any toxins, like with Crusaders, for example, or whether it's to give your body a metabolic rest, as it is with a lot of Guardians in the afternoon. They'll direct you towards drinking to give your body a metabolic break, or a break of breaking down food. So not only drinking hydration for water for hydration, but then the other beverages you're drinking for benefits, and the times that you're drinking those beverages and why.
Awesome. And remember, you saw that example. Green tea is awesome for me. You guys know how to find your overview now. It's simple, it's easy. If you have any questions or problems with that though, please drop us a line so we can assist you in finding that panel. All right? We're here for you. Then we went over the 5 sips, which is a spelling mistake right there. It is 5 tips.
Sips.
5 sips. 5 sips to stay hydrated, everyone. 5 tips to stay hydrated. And remember to drink water consistently through this week. We are challenging you guys with those 5 tips. Our fact, you lose about 10 cups of water every day by the simple act of living, breathing. That's not including the amount of moving you guys are doing, moving steel around all day. So those that are in the actual workshop, which I know a lot of you guys are, you guys need to be rehydrating like crazy. You guys are moving all day. So important to stay hydrated. Look at those 5 tips. Again, I'll quickly review them to replace pops with water. Get some lemon in there if it's hard to stay hydrated. For every hour of exercise, you want to replace with 1 liter of water, which is a lot, but it's going to be really good. All those diplomats and everybody else is eating veggies and things like that. You have water in your food. That is awesome. So those are your 5 tips on staying hydrated. Super important. Well, we had a great Q&A today. Thank you, Carl. Thank you, Dom. Thank you guys for tuning in. We're going to end off today with a blast. And I'm just going to push this out a little bit. So remember that while staying hydrated, you need to ensure that you are staying hydrated all over your body. And this, this is a very important aspect of staying hydrated. This is Meghan Sage signing off for your hydration week. I think that was more fun for Sage than it was for me. But stay hydrated out there, you guys. From Meghan, Sage, and Bali, we will be tuning in next week. Catch us live. We'll let you know when the next activation is. And stay hydrated. Peace. Have a great day over there.
Cool. Good job. I get a call.
Yep, we're still live. Hello, everyone. I don't know how to end the meeting sometimes. It takes a while. I'm really wet.